She goes, no, I don't care. Call the police. Call 911 right now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my personal YouTube profile. It's Halloween night, but you're probably seeing this the next day because I'm very slow at editing. But in Heart of the Season, I wanted to tell you guys the scariest story of them all. Retail. Working retail is a fate worse than death. Let me tell you about one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had. In order for this story to make any type of sense, I'm going to start with giving you a little context of what I do. Basically, I help people print out business cards, posters, flyers, things of that nature. And I also help with self-serving things, including printing out documents, faxing, scanning. We have big self-serve machines that are next to our station, but we have an area behind the counter. Anything that's ever printed out will be sent to, and basically from there is how we'll access the file and print it out. And the only way for us to be able to do that is if you email the file to that email. So now that you have a little bit of context, let me get on with the story. So yesterday, there's a bit of a rush. There are a lot of customers around, and I see my manager. He's in the same station as me, and basically we're trying to get people's orders ready, and we're trying to make sure that we're keeping up with the customers that are also over the counter. I come across this one woman who had a certain aura to her, and I just knew she was gonna give me a hard time. But this policy is to never judge a customer that comes in. You should always give every customer a clean slate. So I asked this woman, what can I do for you today? She gives me a very menacing look, and I don't know if I should call for my manager or if I should just hold my ground so that I don't look weak. I simply ask, ma'am, did you hear me? She says, yes, I heard you. Then I ask, well, what is it that I can help you with? She says, I need something printed out. Obviously, ma'am, you needed something printed out. That's the whole point of this station, dude. I simply ask, what is it that I can print out for you? She says, hold on, let me pull it up. And I say, okay. And while she's looking for it, I decide to tend to another customer. And so this other customer that I'm tending to, he wants to make a stamp. Oh yeah, that's also something we do. Didn't mention that. He wants to make a stamp with his name and his email on it. And basically, I've been helping him set it up. While this is going on, another woman walks into the store and over to our station. And she sits at the computer since no one else is sitting there, presumably to use it. But as soon as she sits down, she turns to me and says, how do you work this? What do you do that? This is not working. It's not working. What am I supposed to do? Mind you, this woman simply came in and sat down and did not even try to press any button or even look at a screen for a minimum of 15 seconds before saying this. So I simply say, ma'am, you have to click on the really big green start button. So then I'm helping this man get his stamps together, and then she looks at the screen once again. I look over at the first lady with the weird aura again, and she's still looking for her file. I'm helping this man, and then I hear, I'm filming! This woman is pretty much banging on the desktop screen as if that's gonna magically make it work, as if it's touch screen or something. I simply tell the woman, you can't do that. It's not a touchscreen computer. You have to use the mouse. I turn over to the woman, about to ask her if she found her file yet, but then I hear the other woman say, but there was no mices here. There's no mices. It's not working. It's just not working. Slightly angered, I turn to the woman again and say, the mouse is right next to your arm. You are leaning on it. In dismay, the woman looks away and grabs the mouse and actually uses it on the computer. She calls for me again, but this time I ignore her because you're gonna try before you call me again. Like, seriously? Just use the computer, dude. It tells you what to do. Just read it. Me and the man are trying to figure out what's going on with the stamp. It kept changing the font and the sizes as if the computer was malfunctioning or something. And that wasn't good for business because we needed a precise copy. I tell the man to mess with it a little bit and see if he figures anything out while I go back over to the very first woman with the weird aura. I go back to her and then she tells me that she found the file and she sent it to the... So I say, okay, perfect. Everything is now going to plan. So I write down her code and then I go over to the back computer. I put in this code and nothing comes up. And I'm very confused as to why the code doesn't work. I show the woman the screen and show her that nothing pops up. And she gets angry at me as if it's my fault that she didn't send it correctly. But whatever. The woman gets angry with me. You didn't put it in right then. There's no way that nothing popped up. And I say, ma'am, I'm sorry. It might be the way that you're sending the file. We could always try another way. And the woman says, okay, but the way that I did should have been right. And then I say, well, it wasn't. The woman at the computer calls for me again, saying, can fix the computer? The computer's not, how do you work this thing? It's not working. I tell the woman, please click debit or credit. Just read. Like, what can you possibly be doing on the computer that's not gonna require you to read? I begin to grow nervous because another customer comes in and a line starts forming, wondering why the line's not thinning out as I'm trying to juggle all 3 of these customers. And then I look behind me and realize my manager is not there. I am back there alone. I start using my microphone saying, hey, can I get some help in copy print? Beg and I cry. Can I get some help in copy print? Like, can someone help me, please? Like, I literally don't know what's going on. But my cries go unheard and no one shows up. I start asking people in the line, are you here for pickup or what is it that you need to print? Some of them I'm able to thankfully lead them into self-serve, but some of them have to remain in line simply because those jobs have to be done behind the counter. I'm growing nervous at this point, not knowing what to do. I turn back to the first woman and ask her about another code. She gives me another code, but then it turns out to be a link, and I wonder, if I take this to the back computer, maybe I'll be able to open the link since I can't do it on the front one. I go to the back computer and look at this extremely long link and realize this is not going to be good. There's no way that this hyper-specific link is actually going to lead to something that's printable. And I was correct. I click on the link and it takes me to Google. So you want me to print out Google? Like, what do you want from me? I let the lady know that it takes me to Google and she grows furious at me again, saying, you're not doing this correctly. You don't know what you're doing. How long have you been working here? You clearly don't know what's going on. I tell her, ma'am, I understand that you're frustrated, but I don't know what to do with this. Results ended up being a diet plan, and I found images of it on the internet. I showed the image to her to verify if it was okay to print this or not. She looked at it and agreed that it was okay. I print out this page and I show it to her, and then she says, all right, I just want to look at it for a little while. I tell her, feel free. The woman at the computer is still screaming at me. I have to keep my nerves calm. This woman is wearing my patience down, but I have to stay calm. I call on my microphone again. Can someone help me at copy print? I literally don't know what's going on. But no one comes, no one arrives. I walk over to the man again, and now everything is working out fine. And so then I tell him, this is exactly how the stamp will look. Does this look okay to you? And he says, it looks nice to me. Let's just go ahead and place the order. So then I say, okay. I start to place the order, but then the man stops me and says, but wait. I get nervous, hoping that this would be a smooth transaction, but the man tells me, took $5 off of my card. What? Very confused, I look at the man and ask, what do you mean by that? And he says, took $5 off my card. I think it was when I was trying to use the computer and it didn't boot up. Let out a sigh of relief knowing exactly what happened. See, with the machines, it takes away $5 to make sure that your card is viable to actually make a purchase. But it ends up actually giving that back after your purchase is complete. Simply explain this to the man, but he says, no, it took it off my card. You think that's not okay? I didn't say that they could take it off my card. I get a little bit frustrated because he obviously did say that, because there's literally a screen that says, I authorize to take $5 off and return it after the purchase is done. I simply say, I understand your frustration, sir, but the money will go back into your account. The man, not wanting to hear it, simply says, where is your manager at? Feeling a sense of dread in my heart, knowing that no one's gonna come, I still call out, can someone please help me in copy print? I don't know what's going on. The very first woman with the diet turns to me and says, this is not what I wanted. I feel myself starting to panic again because she literally confirmed that that was an okay thing to print out. But like, okay. The lady tells me, no, this doesn't have enough information on it. I tell her, okay, I could take that back then and print out something different. The lady at the computer still mouthing off to me about how the computer's not working when she literally has not clicked anything. Call on my microphone again. Hey, I need you to process a return and I need you to just be back here, please. Can someone come back here, please? After I help a couple more customers into self-serve and really quick print jobs, then these 3 people start to simmer down a little bit, except for the lady at the computer. The lady at the computer is still mouthing off. My manager finally comes back and I'm able to go over there and help her fully. I walk over to the computer to help the lady out, and she's extremely uncooperative with everything that I say. I tell her to wait a minute as I help a couple people in self-serve, since they've been here for a long time waiting on me while she's not listening to a word I have to say. Then I turn my back over and she left the computer already. Then I think, well, perfect. I'm kind of glad that you're gone. As I'm saying good riddance, I go back behind the counter to do some more jobs. As I'm back there, the lady is there and she stops me and she says, how do I scan to my email? You know, my email, how do I scan to it? She says that repeated phrase over and over and over and over and over and over, and I try to explain it to her the best way that I can with her printer, since she apparently had a printer at home. Yes, you heard that correctly. She has a printer at home. Some time passes. My manager is helping those 2 customers and I'm getting some jobs done in the back. My manager gives the first lady back to me and says, I need to go run and do this return. Can you handle her ticket? Which basically the ticket is just the thing to scan to make sure that they pay for it. Go about making this woman's ticket, and then she says, I can't find my credit card. And I say, well, did you maybe leave it on the counter? I should never have said these cursed words. The woman has a look similar to a eureka. Goes, my credit card was stolen. I tell the lady, what do you mean it was stolen? She tells me, no, it was on the counter right here. And that lady who was on the computer, she grabbed that box of masks and she grabbed my credit card. Very confused, I simply ask her, I'm sure that didn't happen. Maybe it's in your pocket, or maybe it's somewhere that you might have just left it. Then she goes, no, I don't care. Call the police. Call 911 right now. I become completely frozen in fear, not knowing what to do next. I scan the entire store and I don't see the woman from the computer anywhere. Nervous, thinking, what if she did? What if I do have to call the cops? My manager is nowhere to be seen right now. I call on the mic again, my last hope. Hey, manager, can you come to copy and print? It's very urgent. I hear the very calming words, I'm on my way, and I know that I'm gonna be put to safety. I look around the store, seeing if I could find the lady from the computer anywhere, and I don't see her. I check nearly every aisle, begging, desperately begging to God that I could find her. And with one turn of the left cheek, I see her in aisle 1. I approach her with the best attitude that I can. Ma'am, is there any chance that you could have accidentally picked up a card of some sort? She goes, no, how could I have done that? What did you accused me of stealing? You accused me of stealing? I simply say, no, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just asking, maybe you might have accidentally picked it up or something. And she goes, no. I even eye the things that she's holding just to see if I see a card of any sort. And I do, but it's not the woman's card. It's her own. I simply say, I apologize, ma'am, for interrupting your shopping time. I just wanted to make sure that you might not have accidentally picked it up. I go back to the counter and my manager is nowhere in sight, which disheartens me since I heard him say that he would be on his way. The man at the stands is long gone and I'm missing his presence at this point because he was a lot nicer than these other 2 customers I had. I'm gonna open an Airhead and continue. How am I supposed to eat that? My manager finally makes it, and then I'm finally free from the grasp of all of these people. I start doing some cleaning to clear my brain and simply recover from all of that I was taking. The woman's order is eventually finished and she does eventually leave. I go up to my manager and ask, so where was her credit card? He simply says, it was in her pocket the entire time. I'm not gonna say I knew that, but I knew that. I knew it would be in her pocket. The woman left from the 2 doors and never returned again. At least not during my shift. That was the story. I hope you weren't terrified too much. If you guys would like more horrifying stories of my retail experiences, then feel free to tell me to do so in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day after Halloween, and I will see you all in the next video. That is everything. Memento Mori. That was so stupid.